super excited about this interview. I know I say that about all the interviews, but Garba is really like a prime example of why I wanted to do these interviews in the first place. It's to showcase his brilliance, really, his intelligence, his creative vision, his expansive perspective on music, and just his well-rounded nature in general. So let me back up for a second. Garba Toure is the lead guitarist for Songhoy Blues. Garba and I met in the United States about 4 years ago for the first time. And this is another testament to his brilliance also. When Garba and I first met, we spoke in Bamanankan, one of the main languages in Mali. Not his native tongue, by the way. In the space of that 4 years, he basically became perfectly fluent in English. So Songhoy Blues is a band comprised of people of the Songhoy ethnicity, Garba and his bandmates. The Songhoy are particularly strong in the north of Mali, which is where a lot of the turmoil of the last few years has been. The Songhoy just have an amazing musical tradition. You've probably heard of Ali Farka Toure. He is probably the most recognizable Songhoy musician, but there are many others as well that you could check out and listen to. For me in particular, Garba illustrates the beauty of diversity in Malian music in terms of the types of experiences that the musicians have. I think that in the West we tend to see all Malian musicians as being part of like these really illustrious Jeli families, but Garba is an interesting, notable counterpoint to that. He's extremely educated. He went to university. He just basically picked up the guitar because it was his passion and his love that led him to do that. And their band also too, Songhoy Blues, is really notable, I think, for that. Every time I've seen them, they just kind of function together as a team. Forgive the slightly awkward backdrop of the interview. We were looking for a good place to shoot. We just ended up shooting it at his apartment because it was easier and quieter. And it's kind of funny because his lady friend was she was literally like physically holding a battery-powered light to shine on us so that we were light enough to actually film it. And then about 60 minutes into the interview, or 45 minutes into the interview, it just stopped working. So that's what that is. Hopefully the conversation makes up for it. We just spent like an hour getting this set up.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. Hey everybody, how you doing?
Hi, Day.
It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
Yeah. I think the last time I saw you was like maybe 3 years ago or something.
It was our last US tour, 2019.
Yeah,
The end of
2019.
2019.
In Berkeley.
Berkeley.
Yeah. That was a good show, man. That was so good. That was so much fun.
We missed the stage, it's now almost free. More than 2 years we are not on tour, so because it's COVID, we hope things will become normal soon.
Yeah. I'm sure when the next tour happens, your concerts are going to be so filled with people. So many people coming.
Definitely.
They're going to be so happy.
On our social media page, everywhere people don't stop to write us and ask about plan of next tour. But we say we pray until COVID is go off, and we will be on tour very soon, we hope.
Yes, you're planning right now.
Yeah, we hope we even this year to plan some maybe US and Europe tour.
Okay.
We're gonna depending how things will be, will be fixed normal. So
yes.
if life become normal, we will back on outdoors.
Yeah,
Definitely.
You guys will be the first one, and I'll be there. Don't worry. Well, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your musical preferences, your musical tastes, because I was in the car with you the other day, and you were playing all this music, and it was like, wow, he listens to all this stuff that I grew up listening to also. It's amazing. You tell me about what you listen to.
I listen all good music, you know. Is depending is rap, is Afrobeat, is blues, rock and roll, African music. You know, it's 2 days ago we was in my car, we listened to Red Hot Chili Pepper,
Yeah.
AC/DC, Nirvana. At the same time I can listen for Ed Sheeran, Beyonce, Gary Clark Jr., Joey Bonamassa, and I listen for Ali Farka Toure, Salif Keita, Musankare, Via Farka, Songhoy Blues. You know, I do mix. For me, all good music is welcome. You know,
all good music is welcome.
Yeah, definitely.
That's good. That's a good phrase for you. All good music is welcome.
Is welcome.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Wow. Yeah, it was amazing to listen to all that. How did you learn to play the guitar?
Oh, that's when I have something like maybe 9 or 10 years ago. Cause my family, my dad and my mom always wanted me to study school. Cause they didn't have chance to study.
They didn't have a chance.
So for them, here in Mali, in North Mali, generally in Mali, all people think the same. The only way people to be successful is to study school.
Yes.
And you know, that's our mentality here.
Yes.
People never believe on music or football. Maybe one day you can build your future just to make music or to play football or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's why the beginning was very difficult for me. My father, he's a musician of Ali Farka Toure band.
Your dad is?
My father, he played congas. First he played guitar, the second guitar with Ali. After he played conga with Ali Farka band. He always was after with Ali Farka. But the thing is, he don't want me to touch his guitar. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that was the thing. But when I start to be passionate with the guitar in our village, I know some guy. They are a little bit more older than me. I go there and I see how they play. They try to play some local riff, you know, from our region, Timbuktu. And you see, it was very easy thing, like about 3 string, 4 string, just, you know, to move a little bit. And with them, I took my first lesson on guitar with them until year by year, and I do some own amelioration.
Getting better little by little.
Little by little, yeah.
So, did you like pay them to teach you, or did you just kind of like hang out with them and watch? How is it?
I watch, cause they was very. They are not professional guitar players. They are just. They try to play guitar, but they start before than me. And when I'm come here, I see how they did. You know, you have to keep string here, play here, and sometimes you have to play free some string or small. Until when I took my exam to come to Bamako, I meet here Bamako. You meet more professional guitarists than the village, and we try to know about some chord, you know, dice chord, or D, that's chord, G, that, you know. But I never at school I studied biology and chemistry. That's the thing I studied at school.
Biology and chemistry. Wow.
But I never go in a music school to study music. Here in Mali, a lot of people love music and go to a friend or want people, to play kora, guitar,
Yeah.
drum,
Yeah.
That's the thing here.
Yes.
But now a lot of people go school to study music.
Mm.
Yeah, they are academician, and it's
Yes.
very good thing to even Ali Farka Toure. A lot of great musicians from Mali never go to school.
They didn't go to school.
No,
Yeah.
no. That's the natural school we do here,
Yeah. The school of the street.
History. That's the natural one here. Definitely.
That's something that's interesting about you. A lot of the Malian musicians that I know, they don't have the education that you have.
Yeah.
Because you did university. You got your master's too, right?
Yeah. I do. I finished my studies at university.
Yeah.
And all Songhoy Blues guys, we all got the diploma of university.
Mm-hmm.
We spent
Everyone from the band.
We spent the whole time of our when we was young just to study. I spent something like 14 years at school.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah, a long time. Just to school, because our parents, they just want us to finish at all your diploma at school.
Yeah.
And work for maybe the government.
Yes. Yes.
It's not in Occident or everywhere. People don't want to work with government. People want to work in some enterprise.
Exactly. Exactly.
But here is different.
Yeah.
Mali is a very poor country, and once you work for government, it's everything, and that's very successful.
That's success.
That's
their idea of only success. That's the only success.
Yeah, that's
if you do that.
Yeah.
So has it changed now, because you're successful? You're very successful now doing what you do. So has your relationship with them changed now, because they can see that you've done something that they didn't approve of, yet you're getting acclaim for it and you're respected and all this other stuff?
I think now mentality is become to change now. People starting to understand, and we all know now is not true to just. It's better. It's good if you study school to understand what's happened. It's because when you study geography, you're gonna know America is live here, Europe is here. It's good to know about something when you study school, but by the same way, we know now we have to change the mentality and know we can change things. Our generation, we don't need to focus really on it's maybe 20, 30 years ago what people think before, because now we have a big change with internet. The world is become very small now, because internet, and now we are access in it's maybe 20 years. I never see a computer.
Yeah.
I never touch a phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never think I will.
20 years ago?
Yeah, I will gonna write a message in Facebook, WhatsApp, at the moment for when people are in New York, maybe in LA, Japan.
Yeah.
World has become very small now, and it's the reason why we have to see the world differently, I think.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I just want to highlight what you said because it's so important. You're talking about moving beyond like the imagination of our ancestors.
Yeah.
Moving forward into the future.
We have to move forward, definitely.
Yeah. Creating a new imagination, a new reality.
A new mentality. We have to change our mentality, because we know the old parents, they have some connaissance, something was very true, but they cannot know about everything, because it's 20, 30 years, they never know world gonna become like that, So it's why we who know now, we have to see and analyze things differently, That's the things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's our opportunity now. It's our time now.
This is our time, and we have to decide and know that must be the better. Maybe in 20 years, the new generation will see us like we didn't understand anything,
Yeah.
It's gonna be another amelioration, maybe.
Yeah, a new wave of things.
Definitely.
Wow, that's beautiful, Garba. Thank you for sharing that. What style of music do you play in Songhoy Blues? Like, how do you describe the music to you? How does it sound to you?
The describe I'm gonna give for our music, we just can say it's African music. When you listen for Songhoy Blues, our group is 100% African.
Mm-hmm.
But since we start our first composition to try to inspire our first inspiration, we say, hey guys, before us we had Ali Farka, we had Tina Riven, we have a lot of very big and great musicians from our region, North Mali. They do successful music around the world. That's great. But now it's maybe 20 or 30 years between our us and them.
Yes.
So now we have to look the thing differently.
Yes.
We have to bring another energy,
yes.
another changement in this, It's true we're gonna keep the bass. The bass, we're gonna keep it, but let's listen for maybe Joy Bonamassa, maybe to...
Which one?
Joy Bonamassa.
Joy Bonamassa.
Let's listen to Stevie Ray Vaughan. Let's listen to...
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah. We got lot of great guitar player. If we listen, and if we listen for their kind of they do music, and we put together with our music, it can give another kind of music.
Yes.
And music always needs another new things to put it more up,
Yes. To elevate it.
Another level, yeah.
Another level.
Let's put our music to another level.
Yes.
If we do music just like Ali Farka, Justin Iwen, I think we're still gonna be here.
Yeah.
Because Ali Farka is very huge. Tinarven is very huge.
Yeah.
They have a Grammy Award everywhere. They do very good thing. So now it's a very challenge for us. It's a big challenge for us. Try to put the level.
Yes.
Put it on the next level.
Yeah.
That's what we tell for ourselves.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I like that. And it does seem like you guys are the perfect ones to do that too, because you have all these different influences that you play with. I mean, your guitar playing is like, it's obviously very rooted in Songhoy music, but you have all these other influences you bring too. I was telling you, I like that Instagram video where you start playing Songhoy and then like Songhoy style, and then all of a sudden you switch and start playing blues.
Yeah.
Just like that.
I love to do that, because I love American blues.
Yeah.
And here, when you listen our African style, North Mali style, the style I learned since I was kid.
Yeah.
When I play it, sometimes I bring the American style, Some because I listen for a lot guitar player of America, rock and roll blues.
Yeah.
And when I bring it together with our style, it's just beautiful,
Yeah, it is very beautiful. Yeah, I like how you do that. That's awesome. Another thing too is that you guys are all friends. You all know each other really well. You all go way back.
Since we was at university, I'm from Timbuktu. Ali and Umar from Gao, but Timbuktu Gao is North Mali. And here Bamako, we travel very far to be here. Bamako is far from the north. And once we arrive here Bamako, all the young the young guys who from north who live here Bamako, we know each other. Yeah, he sing. Yeah, he play guitar. Yeah, we know who do music.
Yeah.
Without for study at university, we know we do music.
Yeah.
And it's why sometimes when a Sunday or if we meet somewhere, we try to just get one acoustic guitar together. Let's play that one. We play while you play, Umar play, and we try to give some sing, or sometimes we do some sing of Ali Farka, Brian Hamadiko, we know about some great musician from art. We try to replay the song.
Yeah,
that's how we do. Yeah, we do, and how it was the reason why we was very close.
Yes. Yes.
And the idea is coming in 2012 when everything was down. It was dice in North. Bamako was big political crisis, and we say now it's time. It's not a school nothing. Let's write and create our own song.
Your own songs.
Until we start to play some little club from here Bamako. Yeah, that was where things beginning for us.
Yeah. That's beautiful. How does it change the music because you all know each other? We were talking about it earlier. If you were to go and play with Salif Keita, you'd be expected to just play one part. But you are all friends. I don't know if you're all equal in the composition process, but it seems like you're a team. You're not just like solo players.
The thing is, we always write together. If we have an idea, have a subject, we say, let's think for some subject. We're gonna try to get first the riff or the beat. Try to get the beat or the riff from the guitar.
The foundation.
And together, one by one, everyone give a sentence in different vibes, and we collect everything. We collect intel. We say now it's okay. We get it, and it's like how he work for Songhoy Blues.
Very collaboration.
A very good team collaboration.
Yeah.
Very team.
Wow. And then tell us a little bit about how the different styles of music in Mali, Songhoy music, people know Ali Farka Toure, but they probably know other musicians, and they don't know what the difference is between all of them.
Mali is a country with different tributes, and each tribute have his own, ethnic have his own culture,
Ethnicities.
Ethnicity, and have their own tribute, their own music, and their own thing. How we gonna do our we're gonna celebrate our wedding, everything. It's very different thing, but I think that's the beautiful side of Mali. Because when we are in North, musically, is very different than when you come in the center, Segu or Mopti or Kolikoro. In Kai is another style, and it's very big difference from the music who's playing center or North. I think it's something like maybe America. We got Texas blues, you got Mississippi blues, different, and you got country blues, and we got the jazz, the rock and roll. That's for me is the same thing. A country have to be very big difference in lot thing to be very beautiful for me. It's not just to have just one music for a whole country, or just one tribute for a whole country. I think it's not a good things for a country. To be very diverse, big diversity thing.
The diversity brings the beauty.
Beauty, definitely. For me, that's the idea.
That's really awesome. And then I guess tell me a little bit about the name. Why did you choose the name Songhoy Blues?
What's a great idea, a great question you. You know Songhoy? Why Songhoy? Because Songhoy is the tribute where we come from.
Mm.
So the big powerful empire of West Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So when we create our band, we made lots day just try to see what beautiful name we can have for our band.
Mm-hmm.
When we find lot things, Sahara, Songoy, Sahara. Then we had Songhoy Blues. You know, okay, Songhoy is very great cause. We come from Songhoy. We can represent Songhoy, and we know is our tribute. We can tell about Songhoy story about all situation Songhoy people lived. But blues, why blues? We say okay, because it's a music band. We get now. And the band is born in a time or things was very wrong here in Mali, which was the war in the north, in the south it was fight between politician guys.
Yeah.
So we know about blues story. Blues is the music by the way of music where black people reclaim freedom.
Yes.
And try to sing, give some pass some information if pass some information of the community in America when situation was very bad between white people and black people.
Yes.
So we at this moment we say we are in the same moment. For us now in Mali, nothing is going good. So let's use music because and the big similarity is the blues of North Mali is very close to the blues of America.
Yes.
My first time in Texas when we left airport to hotel, the taxi driver, he put a song on taxi. I listened for him. It looked like it was Tina Ruben. But when the music was here, but when he start to sing, I know it's not Tina Ruben because it's in English and it's different voice. I know Tina Ruben guys. I asked him, who is it? Who is this guy? He tell me, why is a guy is from here, Texas. I tell what's it look like we are Mali, you know, North Mali.
Yeah.
It's very similarity between the blues of North Mali and Texas blues.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's why we say okay now that's we can arrange and give our reason why we choose Songhoy Blues.
Yeah.
You know, it's why Songhoy Blues to tell about the story and about Songhoy situation, about everything of our citizen and you know we from Songhoy Empire and we haven't ever reason to have another name.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Right.
The ideal name for us is Songhoy.
Yes. Yes. That's beautiful. Wow. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. That's awesome.
You're welcome.
The blues. There's like there's a statement too because it's saying that the blues was created. It came out of slavery and horrible conditions in the United States.
Yeah.
But it's almost like you're saying there's similar circumstances going on in Mali because it's an important moment.
Yeah. For me, the blues man, you know, Robert Johnson, Albert King, John Lee Hooker, Robert Cray, all these guys, black guys from America, when you see them, for me, they arrive to America because it was slave system between Europe, Africa, and America.
Yeah.
So it may be 2 or 3 generations. The grandfather go there and maybe some grandfather from here Mali, maybe Gambia, maybe Senegal, maybe Niger, and they go there, but in the blood, the things cannot be changed. They still got the. So why when you listen music of normally, you listen for some people. The first time we met Gary Clark Sr. At Bonaro Festival.
Wait, say whose name again?
Gary Clark Sr.
Oh, okay.
Gary.
Gary.
When we see him, Gary have a song is very similar and close to one song of Songhoy Blues. With the song we say Seku Umaru Tijani Futanker Modanima. Gary have another song is very close to his.
Oh wow.
Our first time we met Gary, it was on the big stage, Bonaro Festival.
Yeah.
And between us we say, hey guys, what's happened? You see Gary.
He's singing your song.
Yes, he's singing in English, but even the guitarist, it's very similar, you know. No, but we say, we understand because something is very, it make a very point between us here and a part of America.
Yeah, definitely. There's a point of connection.
Connection is a very big connection between.
Yeah. How has the difficulties in Mali affected you personally?
So I think so. The situation is going very bad for everybody. Especially for musicians, because we do 2013 until 2019 when the COVID is start. We always on tour. We win our life on tour in music. So music industry is gone down since COVID is come, you know. So it's changed our life, you know. I know some musicians in very strange situation. Things is going very wrong sometimes. But we hope one day, soon, life will become normal, and people will continue to do music, enjoy, and you know, be happy.
Yeah. How can people help?
How people can help? I think now it's lot way people can work music like when you go in artist or Facebook page, if you can get his contact on the internet now is a very special way to help people. I can get the contact in internet from one people who live in maybe America, in Japan, in Australia. It's possible to buy his ticket, to buy his vinyl, his CD, to play his music in the radio, in TV, in Spotify, by iTunes Music. It's another kind to help a musician. Or if musician is close, you have a show close to your house, to buy his ticket, it's another way to help musician. Over is if you can help directly a musician from internet, I think now world is very easy to have the contact of people to help him, you know. Yeah, that's
so people can just get in touch directly with musicians.
Yeah.
I like what you're doing. I'd like to help.
If it happen, we know now directly people need to have money. Some musicians live in very even for us last year, sometimes it was very, very hard. Life was very hard. Even edition is not good money. You're gonna come in the publishing money is come, but it's very small.
It's very small.
It's very small.
Streaming.
It's very small when it comes. People just want someone to $200, $300, maybe sometimes even $100 is very big money because you can spend 1 week, you have more than $50, you know. So if you have $100 is a good thing for people, you know. Yeah. And that kind of help, I think, if it's happen directly, is low batteries. It's come? No, it's low. I have to charge. It's do just 1 hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Just 1 hour.
Okay.
We can continue it maybe.
We can just finish it up and then, so they can help musicians directly. And then if they want to help the country of Mali.
Now to help Mali, I think we have a government who are here, but Mali is very big country of corruption, you know. A lot of people try to help Mali, but sometimes when you help Mali and the authority who gonna be here, sometimes we found it's not good guy who are here. Even you signed $1 billion to share between Malian, they gonna do differently. They never gonna charge like that, or they gonna just give small and shift the big part of the money. So it's why it's very good for me sometimes if is another way to be directly in contact with the population. That's the more and the clean way to help you.
The clean way to help. Yeah, that's totally true. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, man. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rich.
I'm a big fan.
Hope you will enjoy Mali. Bon séjour.
Yeah, I already have. It's been a good trip. Cool, man. That was really good. Hey, everyone. Eric from Orchestra Gold here. If you're this deep into the conversation, I have a sneaking suspicion that you're enjoying yourself. It was a labor of love putting these together. And another thing we'd love is your support. Blessings are always welcome. And if you're in a place to do monetary supports, we do have some lovely vinyl that we spent a lot of time putting together. I really think you're going to like it. It's got all the best songs that we've put out there over the last few years, including some unreleased music that you've probably never heard before. Link to that is below in the description. I wish you well, sending my very best. Take care and enjoy.